Well, production in the manufacturing sector contracted in May, indicative of the difficult operating conditions. Stats SA data shows the production in the sector contracted by 0.6% in May compared to the same time last year. Now, the negativity was mainly driven by production of metal products and machinery, as well as motor vehicles, parts and accessories. Compared to the previous month, production also contracted by 3.2%. SABC News economics reporter Katlego Legodi has more for us.
As we see Statistics South Africa release the manufacturing data this afternoon, we have a manufacturing roundtable taking place in Johannesburg, where those in the sector are sitting down on the same table, discussing issue of localization and how then we can see growth within this particular sector. I'm going to bring Eustace into the conversation now. He's the CEO of Proudly South African, part of the panel that was discussing really issues of growth within this sector, a very pivotal sector when you look at its contribution to the economy, but they've been really a little bit of a slow move in terms of ensuring that we get the best out of the manufacturing space. As we see the data released here, we hear you saying that there is a need for greater focus to just work towards ensuring that also we push localization in ensuring that the numbers then are reflective of what is happening on the ground. Maybe give us a sense of how important was it that we see those within this space meeting today to ensure that at least we get an idea of what has been happening within the sector.
I think this conversation is very important in the context of the data that came out, in the context of the high unemployment that persists over the last couple of decades now. I think we're going into decades of unemployment that persists, and manufacturing is very labor intensive. Irrespective of which subsector of manufacturing you're looking at, it has the ability to absorb as many of our people into jobs as possible. And so, as Proudly South African, localization is at the heart of what we are about. We're a buy local campaign that seeks to ensure that if anyone is making a purchasing decision, that they buy locally made products. And so, we advocate for the buying of locally manufactured products. And so, this conversation was important that we become part of it, so that we get those who are responsible for driving demand to understand the important role that they can play in supporting the manufacturing industry and ensuring that we not only retain the jobs that are already created by this industry, but we get it to go to a point where it can create much needed new job opportunities. And so conversations like this are important. We hope in a way it also influences the policy space. We hope in a way it influences the thinking behind those who control the purse, and not only in the public sector, but also in the private sector, because their purchasing decisions and the budgets that they control and their procurement spend can really go a long way in ensuring that we support the manufacturing industry of the country.
Looking at the outputs and also bring it back home in terms of the domestic challenges that we've experienced over time, very well that there have been issues at Eskom, there have been issues at Transnet, and those are some of the bottlenecks that have not really seen this industry grow. What are some of those issues and the thinking behind how then we work at solidifying some of those issues? And you spoke about issues of policy as well. We have a new government in place as we speak right now, a new minister there at the DTIC, and there have been a lot of talks around how then this seventh administration can come through with policy continuity and stability as we look towards the future.
Look, I've had the benefit of listening to the minister speak a day ago on one of the radio stations, and he was speaking about the fact that he's going to continue from where the previous administration left off in terms of the reimagined industrial strategy and the industrial policy of the country. And that is comforting for us, because it's really about reindustrializing the economy of the country, but really driving industrial development such that where there are infant industries, they can be supported. Where there are possibilities for new industries, these can also be supported such that they can be a success. The most important one being the fact that there are master plans, sectoral master plans, where we have seen a lot of great success. We've seen now that a new master plan has been concluded in support of the renewables energy industry. That is another one that we're looking at, quite interestingly as Proudly South African, because we want to see if all of this spent, or if some of that spent that is going to still be incurred in that industry will benefit the local economy. And it's not only about the big ticket items, but it's also items that include, nuts and bolts, cabling, there's the steel brackets that are utilized by those who install some of these things. And all of those are industries that can be supported. We don't have to bring everything into the country, especially in instances where there are industries that already supply some of these things that we consume. And we are happy that the minister is talking about not doing away with the sectoral master plans, not doing away with the industrial policy that is already in place, but ensuring that there's continuity such that where there were successes, we can build on those. But where there are opportunities to have new successes as a result of the plans that were already put in place, which we support and are a part of, this can be realized.
Justus, thank you very much, sir, for your time. He's coming through as the CEO of Proudly South African, and you hear them just optimistic about the future of this industry, talking about working together and ensuring that those green shoots come through for this particular industry where jobs are concerned, but also looking towards the future in terms of political stability, those policy and policy certainties, and some of those frameworks that you heard him say that will need to be championed as we look towards the future of this industry. I'm Katla Logodi for SABC News in Johannesburg.